So I'm sure we've all heard by now that My Hero Academia One's Justice is getting a sequel. Very recently, within the past couple of days, or even today if I'm not mistaken, a new trailer came out for the game, a very short trailer, as well as a 15-minute gameplay video. So I thought that I would go through these, both the trailer and the gameplay video, and kind of highlight some of the new content that's coming into One's Justice 2. I played One's Justice 1 a lot. I really enjoyed the game, so I'm definitely happy that we're getting a sequel and can't wait to see what kind of improvements and new additions can be put into the game. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time, so let's just get into this. Number 1, there's a new HUD and new effects, hit spark effects, and just the way the game looks has been changed. That's nothing too big, that's to be expected with a sequel, that's how it always is. But something that I want to point out is that in certain moments it looks like the game is definitely running faster. Now that's huge news, especially for someone like me who I care more about the way the game plays than the way it really looks. One's Justice, it was fun, but there was definitely a little bit of a speed issue. I felt like it ran a bit too slow. I felt like movement wasn't necessarily tight enough. Sometimes it kind of felt like you were sliding around the map a little bit. It doesn't look like it's vastly improved from what we've seen, but it definitely does look to be a bit faster in certain situations, so that's always good. Obviously, for something like game speed, it would be a lot better when we can test it out ourselves, and this is only the first gameplay video that we've seen, so I'm kind of going to reserve judgment in this area, but as far as I can see, the game definitely looks to run faster. Now, something that I'm sure everyone will be excited about, not just tech nerds like me, is new characters. So in the new trailer that came out, there was 6 new characters shown all at once. So first we got the big 3, Mirio, Nejire, and Tamaki. Obviously, people are going to be super excited for that. To be honest with you, I'm an anime only watcher, so I haven't really seen what they can do, but I've seen the hype from the manga readers, and it definitely looks like they're welcome additions to the cast. We also have Mina and Mineta from Izuku's class, and that is really good for me. One's Justice 1 roster was a little bit lacking. I feel like it could have been a little bit better, and it was definitely disappointing to not even be able to play as the entire class, or at least have a couple more heroes in there. But definitely with the sequel, you can expect to have a lot more characters in, especially if they've announced this many in the first reveal of the game. I'm sure they wouldn't reveal all the new characters right at the beginning of the game's press run, so we can definitely be excited for more characters on the way. I forgot to mention as well, they also added Overhaul, another guy that I personally haven't seen yet. Can't wait for season 4 when it starts, but I'm sure that people will definitely be happy with these additions. And like I said, if we already got 6 new characters on day 1 of what we're seeing, there should definitely be a lot more on the way, and I'm can't wait for that. Now, aside from like brand new characters, in the gameplay videos we can also see that there are going to be updated characters. So at one point you can see you can see Shigaraki fighting, and you can see that his combos look kind of different. He's definitely using a new special move, and just genuinely by the feel of it, as well as the fact that he's rocking a new costume, I would go ahead and say that that's a new character. Similarly to the Naruto Storm games, I'm willing to bet that in every new game, hopefully there's more after this one, but in every new game, kind of the main important characters are going to get a new version of themselves. So I'm sure we can expect Deku, Bakugo, central characters to the storyline to get updated versions of themselves. And that's some people would be happy with that, some people wouldn't. But at the end of the day, I understand they're the main characters of the game, and they're always going to get refreshed whether you like it or not, so you might as well just be happy with what we have. So aside from completely updated characters, there's also evidence that there's going to be new moves in the game for previously existing characters. As you can see in this Bakugo gameplay, his moves look almost identical to One's Justice moveset Bakugo, but he has a new move here. He kind of fires a shot, it kind of disappears, and then after a while explodes far off in the distance. And that's pretty cool, I guess. Obviously, I don't know how that would affect the game until you get the game into your hands and get to try out the new moves, but I'm hoping that at least all of the cast. You know, wishful thinking, but at least I hope the majority of the cast, even if they can't be completely refreshed, which I know is too much to ask for, we can at least get some new moves in there. It would definitely spice up the existing characters, and it's a way to keep them fresh as regards to just porting them over from One's Justice 1 and having them remain exactly the same. So new moves, especially for some of the characters that weren't that great, cough cough Uraraka, that would definitely be appreciated. Now alongside new moves, we also see new intros and outros for some of the characters, and to be honest with you, I mean, this doesn't really make that huge of an impact. Obviously, after you play the game for a while, you're probably going to be skipping the intros and outros, but I guess while the game's new, it's nice to have something new to look at, so that's something. And alongside the new intros and outros, there's actually new costumes as well. This is something I'm a little bit more excited about, especially with the character customization features. I know One's Justice 1 had at least 3 or 4 costumes per character, and a couple of them even had different colors. So they actually did really well in regards to that with One's Justice 1. And I'm hoping that at least everyone in this game gets a brand new costume, even if their moveset stays the same. A new costume could help to spice them up a little bit, so that's definitely cool. And yeah, you know, anything new is appreciated, because from what we're seeing from the gameplay side of things, I'm gonna go into another video into that at a later date, but it looks to be that the gameplay is you know, not really changed that much, so whatever new content we can get, I'm here for it. Now one gameplay thing that was changed that I want to mention is the wall being stuck in the wall, whatever you want to call it. The timing for that definitely looks reduced. It's still a little bit long in my opinion, but as you can see here, you can actually escape from it in certain situations, whereas in One's Justice 1, if you get splatted into the wall, no matter what the opponent does, he can fumble, he can just mess around, do whatever, and he's gonna have time to get up there and continue his combo. It was way too long, so I'm glad to see that they at least cut it in half for this game. That's definitely appreciated. And we also have a new style of stage transition. In One's Justice 1, it wasn't really stage transitions, but certain stages, they had walls and you could bust down the walls and it would open up new areas of the stage. And something similar is going on here, except it's with the floor. You can see that you can punch people through the floor and it'll open up, I guess, a basement part of the stage. This is definitely dope. It's definitely fun to have. Me personally, I would rather they just give us brand new stages instead of expanding stuff, or I don't know, games with stage transitions. To me, I feel like it makes the stages get stale quicker, because you can see like 2-3 stages in one fight depending how the transitions go. And even if you have a decent amount of stages, if you're seeing so much of them in every fight that you play, then it kind of makes them, if you guys understand what I mean, it makes them stale faster when there's a lot of stage transitions. But also it is hype when you, I guess, Texas smash somebody straight through the ground, and you know, you see all the particles fly up and the ground cracks up. So that's definitely neat as well. That's something that One's Justice 1 did pretty well, the stage destruction. Can't really remember an anime game that did it as well recently, so I guess that's really good on One's Justice 1. Now there are a couple more gameplay things I noticed, but as I said before, I kind of wanted to save those for another video, go more in depth into it, and maybe look at them when we have a little bit more to look at. Because from what we've seen so far, basically everything that I've listed is all the new content. The people who are playing weren't that great, as we know usually with these press conferences, so they didn't really explore deep into the mechanics like I'm sure some of us would have liked them to. But just from the fact that there's going to be new characters in this game, and hopefully an actual proper story mode. This wasn't shown at all, but I'm hoping that we actually get a proper story mode this time, because One's Justice 1 story mode was like, even the parts that they attempted to try on were just they were just it just wasn't happening. Like I would have rather they just scrapped story mode and just made me read a summary, but giving us like 5 new characters instead of wasting time building that. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, can't even remember the beginning of the video, but I really liked One's Justice 1 for as much complaints and nitpicks as I have about it. I really liked it, and I played it a lot online and offline, and I really think that it was a unique type of anime game. It was definitely rough in some areas, so I'm really hoping that they take all the feedback they've gotten into consideration and smooth it out for One's Justice 2. But always with these type of games, I guess it's good to be optimistic because they get improved over time. If you want to think about it, Storm 4 is basically, to a lot of people, it's the best anime game or whatever. It looks beautiful, everyone's used to it and whatever. But that game is the 4th, it's not the 4th in the series, it's like the 6th, if I'm counting correctly, in the series. So they had a lot of time to keep building on what they started with to eventually get to that point. One's Justice, a lot of people wrote it off, and it was the first game in the series. And I'll admit it wasn't the strongest entry, but it definitely showed potential to me. It was definitely fun enough to play to me and to others as well, I'm sure. So hopefully they can continue to build on that. Hopefully One Justice 2 is a banger. And yeah, we just continue to grow from here. Anyways, if you stayed until this point, I appreciate you watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe, share, all that. And yeah, stay on the lookout for my channel. I want to be more active with One's Justice 2. So I'll definitely be posting anytime something pikes my interest and letting you guys know what are my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching. Peace.